Well, welcome to the Viking Age podcast. It's the official podcast of the VikingAge.com. My name is Chris Schad. I write for Zone Coverage and FanSided. He is Adam Patrick, one of the lead NFL editors at FanSided and a managing editor of the VikingAge.com. We do this right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel every Tuesday and Friday morning, and we're also in podcast form on Apple and Spotify the very next day. But however you consume us, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode and we can spread the word to the masses. On today's show, we're going to talk about the Vikings' glorified preseason game against the Washington Commanders on Sunday. Kevin O'Connell rolling out the offense he should have been using all along for the Vikings. And Adam Thielen is talking again. So we will discuss his latest comments as he begins a new chapter in his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But first, let's talk about Sunday's game because the Minnesota Vikings defeated the Washington Commanders 31-0. They are the first team in NFL history to get shut out in its previous game and shut out its opponent in the following game since the 1992 Denver Broncos. JJ McCarthy threw for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns with no interceptions. And that's basically all I got for you because there was not a whole lot of substance to this game. So my first question for you, Adam, is did this do anything? Did we learn anything about the Vikings? Did it, as Andy Reid would say, tickle your tonsils, which isn't going so well in Kansas City right now? Did this do anything on the radar?
The Vikings are going to the Super Bowl, so everyone can, start booking their rooms for San Francisco or Santa Clara, where the stadium really is, and get their tickets. No, I just think it was, as much as we rag on like a team like the Bears or somebody else whose wins don't seem as great, winning helps everything. Like those missed throws by JJ yesterday, because he had some still. We don't harp on those as much when your team wins 31-0 and he throws 3 touchdowns and leads a 98-yard drive, a 19-play drive that went 12 minutes. So like there are positives to take out of this game. The defense finally got some turnovers. Like there's just a lot of things that we have been searching for this entire season that actually happened yesterday. And I think the way that the Vikings played yesterday, regardless of their opponent, is exactly how everyone thought they were going to play for the entire season. Now, were they unable to do that because of, Kevin O'Connell's play calling tendencies or injuries to the offensive line or other players or Addison's suspension? There's a whole bunch of things that go into it. But I think what we saw yesterday is how a team with JJ McCarthy at this point in his career, at least on offense, should be run. Rely on the run game, give him some quick passes where he doesn't have to sit back there and go through all of his reads. He checks like 1 or 2 and just fires it as quickly as possible. And then, what do you know? You're moving the ball. There was a bunch of third downs that were, longer than 10 yards, and the Vikings were able to convert because there was a lot of talk about JJ McCarthy just going out and playing free and playing football like he used to, when he was younger. And it looked like he did that. It looked like he was a lot less more stressed and concerned in the pocket. He just looked more comfortable. He still sacked 4 times, so it's not like he wasn't under pressure, but it just looked like he felt a lot more like he belonged on that team in the NFL, in that offense, than he has in the past. And quick side note on that 92 Broncos team, they fired their head coach after that season. And they went 8-8. They fired Dan Reeves, who was there for
I was going to guess who the head coach was because I'm like, well, it wasn't Shanahan. So did Shanahan replace him?
Dan Reeves, and it was a year after they won 12 games. So kind of similarities, but Dan Reeves was also there for 12, 15 years. But you know who replaced him? Wes Phillips' dad, Wade Phillips, who also didn't wear a headset during that season. That my dad, a Broncos fan, likes to always point out whenever Wade Phillips was the head coach of the Broncos, he did not wear a headset in 1993, even though they were widely available at that time. But yeah, like I think just because the Vikings pummeled the Commanders team that's probably just going through the motions right now, especially there's no reason to play Jaden Daniels anymore the rest of this year, especially after yesterday. Um, I still think you have to take advantage of, your opponent's weaknesses, and this is the NFL. Anyone can, like, the Bucks lost to the Saints yesterday, so like anyone can be defeated any given week, any given Sunday. It's a saying for a reason. So I think there's still plenty of positives to take away, but also, like a lot of people, we want to see this continue. So next Sunday night on the road against the Cowboys, I would like to see something similar. Obviously, the score probably is going to be the same, but I would like to see similar production, or at least a similar approach from the offensive side of the ball. I think the defense is fine the way it is, but offensively, I think Kevin O'Connell has to continue to run his offense like he did on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it was over by halftime.
Yeah.
We talk about the Vikings being a lifeless team and everything else. The Commanders right now, I mean, they were ready to book flights to Cancun or somewhere else because they were just not. I mean,
After that
Jaden
first
Dan-
drive, they were like, all right, we're good.
Jaden Daniels gave it a go with the bad arm, and then he threw a pick to Andrew Van Ginkel and came out of the game after that. Zach Ertz, his leg turned into a piece of licorice after Jay Ward hit him in the knee, which unfortunate play. Kevin O'Connell was asked about it on Monday, and he's just like, unless you want to make the strike zone even smaller, you can't really avoid that because
he made the point that it was different in the sense of, like a Kirby Joseph hit or something like that, where Zach Ertz, his feet had not even touched the ground yet, where like someone like TJ Hawkinson, for instance, when he was injured, he caught the ball, made a football move, made a couple steps, and then he was tackled by someone going for his legs. Like Jay Ward was just trying to just get a body on Zach Ertz, and it's unfortunate the way that it turned out, but that's also football.
Yeah. I mean, just think of the velocity that had to be on that hit. With no I mean, if it was on the ground, you would understand, but the way his leg moved.
Yeah, and
I don't want to talk too much about it.
An inch or two up or down, it's completely different.
Correct. Yeah. It's just super weird injury, but hopefully Zach Ertz recovers or retires or both.
So I would retire.
Yeah, I think that's it for him. Here's what I took away from the game. And I mean, there are a couple other things. We'll hit on that in a little bit, but I think the biggest thing is that I was following Judd Zolgad on Twitter last week, and he commented to our friend Jason Harmon and said, wins are the enemy right now. And I think I disagree with that statement because, like we've said before, unless you're a giant Fernando Mendoza fan and you want the Vikings to draft him and start this whole young quarterback. Yeah. The interview, if you did not see it on Saturday night, I think it rubbed people the wrong way. And I don't know, maybe Kevin O'Connell looked at him this is the second coming of Kirk. He loves Jesus. And
I saw somebody said Fernando Mendoza makes Russell Wilson look like Tupac.
Yeah. Squeaky clean, which, hey, I mean, it's working for him. He's
like, happy kids team's number one in the country.
Exactly. They beat Ohio State because the college football kicking meter and CFB 26 is way too accurate.
Vikings fans couldn't relate to that. Was it a 27-yarder too?
I think it was a 27-yarder. Also, too, wasn't Blair's right down the middle? So all he had to do was just or was it on the hash?
No, I think it was on the left hash.
I was at that game, but I had too much to drink. But
did you see the clip though of the Ohio State kicker before the game? Kicking from the side of the end zone to hit the side of the crossbar. He nailed that. He was able to do that, but not a 27-yard field goal. So
that's pretty unfortunate. Mm-hmm. Here's what I would argue, because there's not really an impact player in the draft, and you never know. There could be a gem out there that we're not seeing. But the 2022 Lions, think about that team, because they started 1-6. They go on, they win 8 of their final 10 games. They get a win over the Bears, who weren't the Bears at that point, but I mean, still a divisional opponent. Then the last game of the season, they still had a chance to make the playoffs. And I think a couple hours before they were officially eliminated, they go to Green Bay and they just open the, just leave
They
everything
eliminated
on
the
the
Packers
field.
from the playoffs, didn't they?
Yes, I was getting to that point.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, Aaron Rodgers' career in Green Bay is over.
Yeah.
And they eliminated him from the playoffs. So it set the momentum to where they are now as one of the better teams in the NFL. I don't think the best, but I mean, they were one of the best for 2 years.
Yeah.
If you can close out with a 5-1, 4-1 record, I mean, that would, or 5-0. Wait, there's 4 games left. So Steiner math going on here.
4-0, 3-1.
Yeah, 4-0, 3-1. I mean, one of those wins would come against either the Lions or the Packers. We're feeling pretty damn good about this team going into 2026. So that's kind of how I see it. It's like, okay, we're not really tanking. There's nothing to tank for in my mind in this draft. So go out there, as Kevin O'Connell put it, play some football, have some fun, and get some wins. And then we'll sit here and go, okay, you finished the season at what, 7-10, 8-9, and we'll be like, okay, let's see what you got next year.
Yeah. My question, though, is does the performance of JJ McCarthy, good or bad, affect what they do in the offseason, even if they do go 4-0 or 3-1? Like, if he plays like he did on Sunday, I don't expect that to be the case where he's turnover free and he throws 3 touchdowns. But, like, if he plays like where he looks more comfortable and the offense is consistently just moving the ball successfully, like, what do you do? Because another option for the Vikings got eliminated yesterday in the form of Daniel Jones tearing his Achilles. I feel terrible for him because he was about to cash in this offseason. Not that he hasn't made enough money in his career already, but still, it was fun to watch him kind of prove people wrong this year. So his injury, I've heard people already, Colts fans or NFL analysts talking about, Kyler Murray going to the Colts now. Instead of, elsewhere, with the Vikings or somebody else or the Steelers. So like that injury has a domino effect on maybe what the Vikings do. The Steelers might win the North, it looks like, after the Bengals lose and they beat the Ravens. So like, does that, them winning the division, going into the playoffs, maybe winning a game or two, does that affect, Aaron Rodgers leaving Pittsburgh or going somewhere else? So like, I think a lot of things in the next couple of weeks beyond just the Vikings is going to affect like how they approach their quarterback situation next year. And I think I don't know if these next 4 games are going to be enough for me to trust that Kevin O'Connell will come out and run his offense next season like the way he did on Sunday. Because I think a lot of what he did on Sunday was more to just appease people, whether it be, I don't think it's for the fans, but more people probably higher up than him in the building who are like, can we just like help this kid along, and try and like actually get him to get some confidence and be successful, and it might also be something where like maybe Kevin O'Connell relied too much on maybe his assistant coaches to develop JJ McCarthy, and he took a step back and was like, hey, what we're doing isn't working. Let's keep it simple for this kid. Whether it works or not. It worked on Sunday, so keep doing it. But like, I don't know. I'm curious to see like this next 4 weeks how much of an impact it'll have on their offseason decision, because I think at this point it's still bringing someone for either competition or to be a solid backup. Whether I lean away from trading for somebody like a Mac Jones, because I don't think you should give up assets for a quarterback like that who might not even start. But maybe, signing a Joe Flacco, signing a Jimmy Garoppolo. I know those aren't like exciting names or anything, but they're people that have been proven to, work well in the system or just work well in the NFL. So I think like at this point, it still brings someone in to compete with JJ. But, we'll see how these next 4 weeks goes. But I don't know. I think I'll still be in limbo even after the next 4 weeks unless JJ starts throwing for like 300 yards a game, which I don't expect.
But the thing is this, it shouldn't be a name that excites us.
No.
Like, right? like they've invested so much in McCarthy, and I know a lot of Vikings fans are out on him right now, but I think next year you at least have to give him the chance to compete. I think it's more likely they bring in a house of cards that he can topple than, go trade assets for a Mac Jones. Like you mentioned it too. There are going to be the Vikings are not going to be the only team looking for a quarterback next year. And the Colts were in this situation a year ago where they had Anthony Richardson. He wasn't performing well at all. They said, okay, we're going to go get Daniel Jones. And I'm sure Colts fans were like, why are you signing him? And he goes out 8-2. The Colts were one of the best teams in the NFL before recent weeks before. Oh yeah, by the way, he had a fracture in his leg. Like,
and he hurt the other leg that was overcompensating for his broken leg. So
correct.
Probably shouldn't have played. But
yeah,
that's their own decision.
So I mean, that's kind of the blueprint, right? Like if they go and they get a guy, like I don't think it's going to be Mac Jones. I heard Matthew Stafford thrown out there this morning.
They're going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to win the Super Bowl and retire.
Right. Some people are like, well, we should trade for Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert. No. It's like, this is not
have
Madden,
the money to
guys.
do that. They don't even have the money to do that.
Correct.
They would have to cut everybody.
Yeah. And then we're back to like Kirk Cousins, like, hey, can't field a full team. It's like whack-a-mole again. I just think all signs point to Aaron Rodgers. Like, I think that's the quarterback they're going to go balls to the wall to go get, because think of it from the Wolves' perspective yesterday. It was a glorified preseason game in US Bank Stadium. And Kevin Seifert posted a picture of the stadium it was actually a video, but half empty stadium at kickoff. It was pretty quiet for most of the game on TV. Maybe it was a little bit louder for people that were there. And like I said, the Commanders looked like they wanted to go home. And I'm sure they're sitting up there in their suite thinking, man, if we just would have signed Aaron Rodgers and, a couple of weeks, we got the Packers coming to town and we would have been on national TV and maybe we'd be competing for the North, and Diana Rossini and Mike Silver are frolicking on the sidelines and they show JJ McCarthy and he just gives this cheesy grin and a thumbs up to the camera saying, I am learning so much right now. This is so much fun. Thank you for bringing in Aaron Rodgers. And there's a group of psycho Vikings fans who think it would have went that way. But I mean, I don't think this is a win now team. Like we can look at the bones and be like, well, they won 14 games a year ago. That was a pretty good old team. They got a year older, more injuries happened. This is maybe at best a 10, 11 win team next year. And that's if you A, hit on the quarterback, and B, plug the holes that this team has, because there's still a ton of holes that are out there.
Yeah, I will say this. I will say I know Kwesi struggled in the draft. He's been better recently, last couple of years. But if he hits on one draft class, like gets a bunch of immediate playmakers, that solves a lot of problems. I'm not saying it's this year, but look at the Lions, that 2022 draft class, that fueled a lot of their success the next 2 years with Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and a bunch of other guys. And then, you look at a team like, you go back to the Saints of 2017 when they had Marshawn Lattimore. Now I'm blanking. Was Mr. Slants, was he in that draft class?
I believe actually he was the previous year. That was 2016 because we took Treadwell.
I can't think of his name. What's his name?
Michael Thomas.
Mike Thomas. Yep, that's right. Yeah. But I know they had I think Trey Henderson was in that Hendrickson was in that draft class as well. They had a bunch, and even the Vikings 2015 with Daniil Hunter, Eric Kendricks, Stephon Diggs. Like, all it takes is one draft class. I think Rick Spielman lived off of the success of that draft class probably for the final few years of his tenure with the Vikings. So, like, if the Vikings can just get it together, find a different way to maybe approach the draft and actually, like, pick players that would fit their team rather than, what the assistant wide receiver coach who's banging the table for some guy or whatever really wants. Like that's great, but like pick somebody who might actually maybe help your team more immediate. Like that's the thing I keep seeing like Jeremiah Love is being the mock the like favorite mock pick for the Vikings right now. And yes, that would be exciting. Um, I guess from a speculation and stuff point, but is he someone that could really make an immediate impact in the type of offense that Kevin O'Connell truly wants to run? If he's going to stick to this running thing, which I don't think he is, there's nothing to prove that this is something that's going to last for a long time. Why are you going to use a top draft asset on a running back? Like that seems grounds for firing to me. Um, but moving forward, yeah, like I think a lot of changes need to be made. I think Harrison Smith's gone next year. I think either Javon Hargrave or Jonathan Allen's gone next year. Ivan Pace is gone. Um, possibly TJ Hawkinson. I think Aaron Jones is gone. Um, what do they do with Jordan Addison? Do they trade him and do they bring back Jalen Naylor? Because he's looked pretty good, but just depends on his price point. I think Ryan Kelly's gone, and I think they need to make some assistant coaching changes. I don't think they can bring back, especially on offense. I don't think you can bring back the same coaching staff and expect different results next year. I think Kevin O'Connell might be buddies with Josh McCown, but I think he needs to take a real close look at see if like he's really helping the development of not just JJ McCarthy, but Max Brosmer too, because he looked totally unprepared as well. So like, is McCown the right guy, or do you need to bring in a Brian Dable or somebody like that? Um, you know, your offensive line coach, is he the right guy leading that group? So like I think some tough decisions need to be made. Special teams, Matt Daniels, although they've looked better recently, but I don't think you can roll into next season with the same exact coaching staff and the same philosophy. I think some significant changes need to be made if they want to take any steps to where they want to be.
And I'm looking at Jeremiah Love's stats right now. Now that you mentioned it, actually, before I do that, I did look up the Saints 2017 draft class,
Yeah.
and yeah, this thing's insane.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lattimore in the first round,
Yep.
Ryan Ranchek
Yep.
in the another first round pick, Marcus Williams,
Yep.
famous name
Yep.
in Vikings history, in the second round, Alvin Kamara in the third
Oh
round,
yeah, Kamara.
Alex Anzalone in the
Oh
third round as
wow.
well. Trey
Oh
Hendrickson
my
in the
god.
third round as well. And this is the one that really made me raise my eyebrows. Al-Quadin Muhammad, who is having
Yeah,
a
he's pretty good
great
with the
season with the Lions right
yeah, yeah,
now.
yep, yep, yep.
He was taken in the sixth round. So, I mean, we did blast Spielman at the end of his tenure for trying to chase that 2015 draft by
Mhm.
like just trading down, trading down, trading down. But I think that's, I mean, it does show like you can do it in one draft class and just get an influx of talent. You shouldn't bet on it every
No.
year, and you shouldn't bet on it this year. But
And I'm not
I don't
betting
know.
on the Vikings to do it either. Like there's no reason to think that
No,
they could do it, but I'm just saying that's all it takes really. It's just like one to really turn your team around and put them in the direction they need to be.
I feel like Ryan Grigson needs to go for any chance of that to happen.
Yeah, I just don't know what he does. Like, I don't think anybody
Yeah.
really does. We can assume that he has a big impact on their decisions, but I think we know that Kwesi is big on like collaboration and letting everyone have like their own thoughts and opinions on what direction they should go, and maybe he just needs to like hone back on that and let the actual scouts make the decision, the player personnel, the pro personnel make those decisions. Like Brian Flores, I feel like has had a lot of impact on some of the free agents they've signed, and for the most part, they've worked. So obviously, he knows how to identify talent. Why can we get him more involved if he's not enough already in the draft process? Is there someone on the offensive staff who's really good at identifying talent? Because Ty Felton got a catch yesterday, but that right now looks like a waste of a pick because he hasn't made an immediate impact, and maybe that's because the Vikings didn't anticipate Jalen Naylor being as good as he was this year as well. I think he's made a lot of strides this year. Somebody else who's no longer with the team either, maybe got in the way of that. Not that he was playing a whole lot, which is why he asked for his departure. But yeah, I think I've heard Grigson's name thrown around a lot, like he needs to go, but I'm just like, yeah, I feel like he's easy to point to because of his, lack of success with the Colts and Browns when he was helping out there too. But I just don't know what he does. Like if he does have a significant impact on that, then yeah, sure, let him go. But like I think there could be other people influencing their decisions too, and I think just everything needs to be explored before just like it's his fault. It's his fault. It's like we really don't know.
We'll have plenty of time to talk about draft
Oh, yeah.
prospects, but I do want to talk about Jeremiah Love just a little bit here
Mhm.
because I dug up his stats. I get what you're saying. Like Kevin O'Connell doesn't like to run the ball.
No.
I mean, Jordan Mason had another strong game
He did.
yesterday, but we don't want to do that. Oh my God. Jeremiah Love. It's funny looking at his page because like they put stats in bold if you lead your conference, but
Mhm.
Notre Dame doesn't play in a
Well, everything's
conference.
bold.
Yes, just about. And also, too, if they played in a conference, they might be in the college football playoff, but they lost to Miami and now people are upset. They turned down a bowl game. Like
A
it's
lot of teams have. I saw that this year.
yeah. Well, and some of it's legit because like so Iowa State, they
Their
lost
coach
Matt
left. Yeah,
Campbell
yeah, yeah.
to Penn State, and then
Other
Jimmy
players.
Rodgers, who I covered at SDSU, he took over at Iowa State. So he's like, well, we don't want to play a game because there's
It would look terrible.
just as yeah, exactly. So they just kind of turned it down. Plus, bowl games don't really matter except for the Pop-Tart Bowl. Give me all of the memes,
Mayo
all
Bowl.
of the no, I'm not a big Mayo Bowl. That game is gross. Like Pop-Tart's actually funny because I don't know, like somebody just had a warped sense of humor. Like, what if they could eat the mascot?
The mascot, yeah. Now,
And
isn't
like,
there going to be multiple mascots this year too?
so this is it sounds like war games, right?
Right.
But like they have 6 mascots. And then last year, I mean, it's just like somebody just went off the rails during a meeting and they're like, that's a great idea. So like the first one, if you're not familiar with college football, this is the Pop-Tart Bowl. So they have a mascot. It's like this Pop-Tart that runs around and dances and whatever. And then at the end of the game, they have this giant ass toaster and the Pop-Tart goes down in the toaster and they shoot out this giant life-sized Pop-Tart and the team gets to eat it. So they're technically eating the mascot.
Yeah.
So last year they had this whole game goes down and then, it's kind of funny. People are laughing at it and it's not like a cult thing yet. But last year, so they have 3 mascots this time. They're like, here are the mascots. And they go, but wait, we have a special guest. And all the way at the top of the stadium is this mascot Pop-Tart, but it's like face is like completely eaten off. And it's just like sitting there waving at I got to get my hand in the shot for the YouTube audience, but it's like waving and stuff. So they had another one get eaten. So I assume there's going to be 2 like zombie Pop-Tarts just hanging out. And then they have 6 Pop-Tarts. So 3 are on team stripes. So it's like Pop-Tarts with the stripes. And then they have 3 with team sprinkles. So it sounds like war games, right? Like,
but the Mayo Bowl is outrageous. Okay.
The Mayo Bowl is great. It's people literally eating mayo.
Yeah,
like, yeah, we're going to put mayo on ice cream. Like, who the fuck thinks of that shit? Like, that's way worse. Like, this is like funny. The mascots are like trying to eat the Pop-Tart mascot.
Well, they have the Cheez-It Bowl too?
Funny.
Is that still going on or is that done?
The Cheez-It Bowl's a thing. But I mean, you can't do anything with like a Cheez-It. I mean, maybe you could.
Giant Cheez-It.
They got giant hunk of cheese. I don't know.
They need what's the most ridiculous food? Like, I'm surprised they don't have like the Buffalo Wild Wings bowl or something like that. Like,
you just house some chicken wings after the game.
Yeah.
It'd be legit.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. I don't know. But I mean, yes.
Taco Bell bowl.
I am a big Pop-Tart.
They give you a roll of toilet paper as the trophy.
The Chipotle Bowl. Yes. We were talking about Jeremiah Love. Yeah, I mean, 63 catches, 594 yards, 6 touchdowns in the passing game. I mean,
it's pretty good. Can he pass block though?
Yeah. if he
That's
can't pass
important.
block, he's going to get Ty Chandlered.
Mm-hmm.
So that is.
I would say
there.
that the Vikings are probably going to look to bring in a rookie or a cheap running back because I do think Aaron Jones is gone unless he reworks his contract.
And he might. He does like it here. So
yeah, because I feel like they're gonna try and go the cheap route for a running back. So I could see them going after a running back early. I think a first round pick, especially in this draft where like there's not as many blue chippers or whatever. I feel like you need to use it on a player that you have a good idea that they're going to make a really big impact on your team immediately. Like I keep seeing, who's the dude from Clemson, the defensive tackle? Peters?
The dude in the draft?
Yeah.
I got to dial. Hang on.
This is really good. Showing them what we know. It's December. We don't know about the draft yet. Give us a break.
We don't want to be looking at the draft right now.
TJ Peters, it might be.
Clemson. Why is he not listed in the first round? There we go. TJ Parker.
Yeah, I've seen
Edge
him
from
mocked
Clemson.
a lot, and he's like a defensive lineman type. So I feel like that'd be something that can make more of an impact than a running back in a pass-centric offense.
I'm just looking. So Reuben Bain Jr., he's probably going to go above. Who do they have him taking right now? Okay, so they have him taking Love. Would you go offensive tackle, perhaps? Because there's two of them. There's Spencer Fano and Francis big name. Sounds like he should be in the bloodline.
No, I wouldn't.
Brian O'Neill's not getting any older, and I don't know about this Darisaw knee thing.
This team is tough because we know ownership doesn't want to suck and develop players. They want to be good, competitive every year, and that's really, really difficult. And I don't think that's going to change, especially not after this year when they were like, "Oh yeah, we're okay with being a little bit worse to help develop JJ," and it's like. Actually, we're going to be really bad. So, sorry. So, I just don't think they're going to want to go back to anything close. Like, this season isn't even that bad. Like, look at the team they just played, the Commanders, who supposedly have a quarterback for the future. Like, but what about the rest of their team? Looks terrible. And, like, is Dan Quinn's job safe? I don't know. It's just tough to find players for this team. Like, pick guys that you know are going to be development. Like, if they were picking the back of the first round all the time, yeah, sure, go for it. But they need guys that can play yesterday. So, I don't know.
We got plenty of time to talk about the draft. I don't know. It's always just an interesting conversation. Plus, if you're watching the Pop-Tart Bowl, I don't even know who's in the Pop-Tart Bowl. I probably won't know until the day of. I'm just excited for it. So
Gophers are playing in Arizona, right?
The Rate Bowl against former SDSU offensive coordinator Jason Eck.
So many connections.
Yes, that's probably the funnest part.
Didn't he replace the old Gophers coach,
Jason Eck?
Well,
no, Jerry Kill. Jerry Kill was at New Mexico State.
Oh, New Mexico.
So this is New Mexico.
Oh,
this is
got my New Mexico's messed up.
Yep. But if you Google Jason Eck, he's a very charismatic individual. I will put it that way.
You've shared some clips of him with me.
Correct. And also, too, he is a Wisconsin alum. So if putting more money into the Badger football program does not work, Gopher fans may get to know him. So there is that. You know what else? Well, I mean, I'm not excited about it, but if we're talking about exciting things, Adam Thielen got a live mic, and he is now with the Pittsburgh Steelers and talking again. So before the game, let's recap what's going on here. Adam Thielen made his debut with the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. They beat the Baltimore Ravens. They're number 1 in the AFC North. The Wolves are probably like, we should have signed Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Tracy Wolfson, CBS sideline reporter, said before the game that Adam Thielen would be heavily involved, and he had 1 catch for 4 yards. So plenty of opportunities there. What is really interesting is his quote after the game. And this was from Penn Live's Nick, I'm going to butcher this name, Fairbaugh, who said, "It was crazy. It's been a wild week. I found my love for the game back, just being out there, playing the game I love. Just thankful to be out there and thrown into a huge game and rivalry." What do you think of Adam Thielen's comments about his love of the game being rediscovered in Pittsburgh?
I think he needs to shut up if he wants to be inducted into the Ring of Honor for the Vikings. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, I don't care if it's not, he wasn't intentionally taking a shot at the Vikings, but that is. You can't say you rediscovered your love of the game after leaving the Vikings, who you begged to get traded to at the beginning of the year, because, most importantly, this is important, because his snaps were decreasing in Carolina, and he realized that after they drafted another receiver in the first round, because Adam Thielen was not, not a number one guy at the age of 35. Who would have seen that coming? And so he begged his way out of Carolina, and he was so excited to go back to Minnesota and finish his career. And then, and he played like 75% of snaps when Jordan Addison was out. And then Jordan Addison came back, and his snaps went down 15%, 10% the game. Also because he couldn't catch, which is kind of important when you're a wide receiver. I've heard it's kind of important. And so, after a while, he was like, "No, I want to be released. I want to go somewhere else." And so the Vikings, who were probably way too nice again, granted his departure. He got waived, and probably, maybe to the surprise of him, he was claimed before he was able to go hit free. Actually, you know what? He should probably be lucky that he was claimed, because if he hit free agency, I don't know if he'd be playing anymore this year. So he joins the Steelers. They give him a box of merch, and he's just rolling around in Steelers gear for like the last couple days. He loves being with Aaron Rodgers and stuff, obviously. And then Sunday, he got the start over. I think they scratched Roman Wilson, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So he got that. And then he played less than 50% of the Steelers' offensive snaps, and caught one pass, his only target for 4 yards. So I hope the Steelers, are happy with what they acquired, because it's not much. It's a 35-year-old receiver who's already, has 1 foot in the retirement home. But I'm so happy for Adam Thielen, who just was so happy that he wanted to retire in Minnesota. But I think this just proves it was never about that. It was never about, finishing his career where it all started. It was about playing more and getting more snaps wherever he could find them. I understand he's a pro athlete. They're all competitors. They want to compete as long as possible. But also look in the mirror, dude. You're not Pro Bowl Adam Thielen anymore. You're not even 2024 Adam Thielen anymore, man. Like, this is your final year in the NFL. Suck it up. You could have just stayed home in your home state where you grew up. Like, have fun being with the Steelers, not playing with them, and watching them lose in the first round. So, good riddance. Obviously, I'm really happy with his comments, as you can tell.
I'm trying. It's funny because I feel like I have to tiptoe any criticism here because he is so beloved. I had a conversation.
Not anymore.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine who is a teacher down in Southeast Minnesota. I won't give the exact location, but let's see here.
I think people can figure it out.
Yeah. So this what he did, he donated an all new weight room, donated scholarship money for several students each year for 5 years, and like 10 grand. Pretty cool. Like all that stuff is very awesome. He's got the coolest origin story in the history of the Vikings. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL in the late 2010s, gives back to the community, great with the media. UNRL clothing. I'm wearing another hoodie today. I like that stuff. That all aside, Adam Thielen, the football player, is fucking delusional. He's delusional. And you hit the nail on the head. He saw the writing on the wall in Carolina. He went to Dan Morgan, the general manager there, said, I want out. And the Vikings, of course, with their humorous, bullshit or whatever, were like, we have to get Adam Thielen. Like, even after he got released, there were statements and we had to talk super nice about Adam Thielen. Why? This is the second time he's done this with this regime and forced his way out, where he's just like, no, I'm Adam Thielen, Pro Bowl receiver. I need $20 million. He gets released and everybody's like, oh, he's going to go chase a championship. He went to freaking Carolina because of Andy Dalton, which makes no sense at all until you realize how much money he got with his contract, which again, great. He's using some of it to make the community better. That's all great. He drops a third of the target he gets. He creates no yak. And yet he needed opportunities over Jalen Naylor and Ty Felton. Ty Felton is alive, guys. I just want to point that out. I saw him get a catch, and I'm like, who is that? Number 13. Oh, that's our third-round pick. Yeah, what a concept, getting the third-round pick opportunities. He is completely out for himself. And what really ticks me off is when you do compare him to somebody like Harrison Smith, who is probably in his final year too. And this was over at Care 11. I believe Reggie Wilson posted this clip. But the comment was from Harrison Smith, you can look at the standings and the reality of things. But KO's message was basically, what would your high school version of yourself think about just playing today? And I think that kind of hit home with a lot of guys. Getting a chance to play in the NFL is fun, so make it fun. This is what we do. I've played football a long time. And he was like tearing up as he said that because he knows. I mean, I'm sure he would have liked to have won a Super Bowl, but I mean, Harrison Smith would die for the Minnesota Vikings. I consider Harrison Smith more of a Minnesota Viking than Adam Thielen. And maybe it's just a sour taste in my mouth from how the last two times have ended. And that's totally fine. Like I said, he will be in the Ring of Honor someday. His origin story is good enough. And you know what? If you got kids at home and whatever, you could point to Adam Thielen and be like, hey, little Jimmy, if you look at Adam Thielen, he was an undrafted guy, all that stuff. If you work super hard, maybe you could make it to the NFL today. You probably won't, but you could put that on your kid. Like, great role model in that case. But he's also a quitter, and he believes this is 2019, and he believes he can still make the Pro Bowl. So I don't know. My love of football was rediscovered in Pittsburgh. No, your love for playing and getting attention was rediscovered with the Steelers. So best of luck.
Do we think it's a coincidence that the Vikings were all joyful and happy just about enjoying playing football yesterday, the week that Adam Thielen left? Was he giving off any negative energy in the building? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think he
seems like someone that would walk around and sulk.
And I also think,
am I wrong for thinking that?
And I also think too, it wasn't just, oh, go find a contender, Adam. It was, we don't want to deal with this anymore, man. Like,
that's why they waived him. They could have worked out a deal maybe with somebody else, but yeah.
The deadline was gone.
I mean, the Vikings they made a couple bucks off some YouTube montage videos of Adam Thielen coming back and everything, and TikTok videos, and they'll do that again when they do eventually induct him into the Ring of Honor. But does his story, has it now shifted? Does it get made by Disney now, or is it shifted to like a made for like Tubi movie, where that just goes on there now? Are we still shooting for Disney, or is it going to be an independent film? Like, what do we think?
There's a lot of places it could go. You could go Tubi, you could go Netflix. Netflix brought Warner Brothers, which is
oh my God, yeah,
in bed with AEW.
So what the heck?
Just I mean, there are streaming services. There's like Angel or something. I saw.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I was watching an NXT.
Roku can be made for Fubo movie.
You could just live stream it on Instagram Live. just like a play or something.
It's at a drive-in movie theater in Detroit Lakes.
Yes. Maybe that's what it'll be. It'll just be reenacted. The Detroit Lake School will put on a play of Adam Thielen's life.
Oh, yeah.
Like Adam Thielen, the musical.
Somebody in like 20 years is going to be like, have you heard about this guy, Adam Thielen? He's got a great story. He's from Minnesota.
Did you know about that?
Yeah.
Little Jimmy will be like, wow, I can make the NFL too. Let's do one quick thing here. Speaking of guys in their last moments, John Cena, last match, Saturday against Gunther.
Supposedly.
That's
what we're told. It's wrestling. You can't ever assume.
That's what people on the internet are like. The Rock's gonna come. The Rock's gonna come back, and then we're gonna get like Owen Hart's gonna come in, and too soon.
Ric Flair had like 17 last matches. So.
This is true. This is true. What is your favorite John Cena moment? Do you have one?
Oh, other people might not like this, but I really enjoyed the Doctor of Thugonomics era of John Cena. The theme song is my favorite theme song of his. The attitude, just his like overall demeanor and everything, just really enjoyed that. And I think probably one of my first memories of him is WrestleMania 20 when he beat Big Show for the U.S. title, and then he came out the next week with the spinner on the U.S. title. So I just really enjoyed that era before he became full like Super Cena. Salute the troops every day. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I enjoyed his exaggerated white rapper character probably more than anything he's done in his career.
That was probably, I don't want to say it was peak Cena, because I mean there's a whole chunk in there that's just kind of like, all right, this kind of sucks. But yes, breaking in as the Doctor of Thugonomics, busting a freestyle every time. I do crack up every time I hear his rap on Eddie Guerrero, and he's like, tell your cousin at Taco Bell to stop handing me the mild sauce.
Oh no.
Yes, it was. If you go back,
his rap album is also platinum, so he's a platinum artist. Like,
I gotta bump his album this week. It's not bad. Some of it's not bad, but I mean,
went platinum.
Yes, exactly. It's a legitimate album. Probably, what was it? 2007 Royal Rumble when he had the torn pec and he came back at 30 and won. That's probably one of my favorites. And just overall, John Cena is a living, breathing meme. So like anytime
he's in horns, this podcast actually right now. He's behind you. You just can't see him.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. John Cena made an appearance on the podcast.
Yeah, special guest.
But no, I mean I don't know. Anytime the horns blare, just the best prank call of all time, where they just keep calling this lady and they're just like, hey, this is Super Slam, like come order it, whatever. And she's like, I hate wrestling, stop calling me. And then they keep doing it. And the last one, I'm sure everybody has heard it, but I'll describe it again. They call again, and she like just goes off without even like saying hello. And it's this lady like, I'm really sorry. I'm with the military right now. Do you support the truth? And she's like, oh my god, yes, of course I support the troops. Yes. And he's like, well, there's one that really needs his support. And his name is John Cena. And she's like, freaking out. Always one of my favorites. I know there was a time I hated seeing him on the TV, but I'll be a little sad on Saturday.
I will say, if this is indeed his last match, I have the privilege of saying I saw his last PLE. Well, does this count as a PLE on Saturday? Because it's only on Peacock. It's not.
Technically, the PLE was survived. Yeah. That's how they're billing it. Anyway,
I was there. So. I was in the building for his last PLE. So. Which I enjoyed. I know some people did not, but I enjoyed all of the matches there. And just seeing Cena's entrance and everything was pretty cool to see it in person. This version of Cena with the black and then it turns into color, I thought was pretty cool.
Amazing stuff.
Also,
and of course,
is it going to top Sting's last match, which was insane?
That was pretty well. I don't think Gunther is going to be diving through a pane of glass.
He should. He'd get a lot more respect if he did that.
Jeez. I mean, it's going to be fun. You got Obafemi against Cody Rhodes.
It's going to be very.
The bringer of roar.
Like it's going to probably be very overbooked. Whether it's during or after Cena's match, like there's probably going to be some some surprises, I'm sure.
Yes, I can think of one, but I don't think anybody
Every
wants
pro
to see it.
wrestler's, it's pro wrestling. You're there to be entertained. It's not
Exactly.
real. Like, who cares?
Still real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
Also, the Viking age, very real. What's going on over there, Adam?
Yeah, we're in the middle of figuring out, do we need to cover playoff scenarios or draft position? Because that's where we are this season, because there's still a slim chance. It's I believe it's still less than 1%. But if like the Vikings win out and the Bears lose and Lions lose and Bucks or Panthers, something like that, like the Vikings can get in. But I did see something today where someone was like, finishing 9-8 and missing the playoffs would be very on brand for the Vikings this year. So that's probably what's going to happen. But we'll cover that. We'll probably just dabble into both playoff scenarios and draft stuff. So keep an eye out for that, and we'll keep an eye on if Adam Thielen says anything else. And look at some other stuff about JJ McCarthy. See what Cowherd says this week, or if he's going to be a little quiet. But probably not, because he's always got something to say. But yeah, go check out thevikingage.com. Check it out. Good stuff over there.
Of course, you can read about my Vikings work at zonecoverage.com. Also write about the Twins and the Wild. Not a lot going on with those teams, but I'm sure I'll drum up something at some point. I'm always busy, though, over at the FanSided RBN network. You can keep up with everything that's going on in the NFC North. It is hate watching season, of course. So we got Packers content at Dairyland Express, Bears content at DeWindy City, and Lions content at Detroit Jock City. But we know why you're here. This is the Viking Age podcast, the official podcast of the VikingAge.com. I am Chris Schad at The Real Chris Schad on social media. He is Adam Patrick at Adam Patrick NFL. We do this every Tuesday and Friday morning right here on the Viking Age YouTube channel. We're in podcast form on Apple and Spotify the very next day. So however you consume us, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new episode and we can spread the word to the masses. For Adam Patrick, I am Chris Schad. 4 letters, 1 word. Skull.